Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where once again we hop aboard the Land Yacht Express with this 1974 Dodge Monaco. Get your Blues Brothers jokes out of the way now. I'll wait a second. All right, let's get started. Oh yeah, 74 Monaco. Been off the road a while. As you can see, it is an Dodge. What do we got here? 2000. Only 25 years. It's in actually really good condition. It's not, I mean, it's got a little rust. You really don't see these cars anymore. A lot of them were cop cars and demo derby cars and everything in between. Frankly, most of these things gave up their power plants for more deserving cars like B and A and E body cars. But there's still room for the C-body Monaco as far as I'm concerned. And we can see on the back that it is in fact a Dode, not an Dodge. There's a twist to this car though. It's my buddy Zane's car, and he needs a ride to get down to Tucson, Arizona for Duct Tape Drags, and to join our convoy, the Poverty Tour, that will be taking 5 days and driving a really scenic route to Tucson, Arizona. He needs a ride to do it, and he, for some reason, thinks I have the skills to make a car able to do that. Basically, Zane's life, his girlfriend's life, and his brother's life are all in my hands. And if I fail at this, they will most certainly die. So anyway, somebody ought to get started on that obituary, and I guess we'll dig in a little deeper to the Monaco. It's not bad in here. It looks great. But I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. I mean, it is rancid. It's horrible. Those are my parts. I stuck in here earlier, and I got a whiff of this thing. Oh my God, it's bad. Yeah, as you can see by the urine-soaked sheets in the back package tray, it's not ideal. Let's go ahead and get this baby airing out a little. That will probably help. Oh, that's nifty. Look at that. It's like a little compartment full of poop. Anyway, yep, let me get that down. Windows work nice. We need this to air out because it is absolutely vile. Yeah, ants and a fairly good sized turd. Oh, hello. Look, it's a G for the trunk. That sounds great. Oh, I see a needle and seat in here. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. There's not one, but 2 carburetor kits and a whole bunch of fuel filters. So this thing's just bound to be a peach. Oh, this is rough. All right. Oh, that window's a little sticky. Let's not break it. I got it. Look at that door, though. Look at that. It's a really, really nice shutting door. And I kind of have a thing for that. Look, if you just barely touch them, they shut. The hood release seems to be floppy and broken. There's got to be a trick to this, which, yes. Will it go? Yeah. No, it is a big block Mopar. We know that immediately because the distributor's in the front. It could be a 440, or it could be a 400. I spy a 2-barrel. Yep. 400. It is nothing special. Let's go ahead and take that off of there. Oh, hey, look. The ignition module is melted. Oh, yep. All right, well, that's problem number 1. Ballast resistor is intact. It's pretty untouched under here. Like, at least I don't think anyone's been jacking with it too much. Look at that. What? The voltage regulator.
Oh, that one too.
Also melted. Typical Chrysler.
Let's see what we got.
What is that? Is that the Stromberg 2-barrel? It is.
It's weird looking.
Yep. It's a Reman. It's got a sticker on the front. I don't know a whole lot about these, but I have gone through one once. Let's just hope it works. Got a transmission dipstick over there. Looks like coolant is completely dry and full of rust and or stop leak.
Trans fluid in it?
It's burned. Go show that. Oh my God. Yeah, they're gonna die for sure.
It looks like oil.
I mean, so this is probably still type A fluid, and type A fluid always looks like that to me. The oil's very clean. I can still read through it. I'm gonna guess brakes are obviously a no-go. Where do we want to start? I bet you it cranks. You want to throw a battery?
Let's see if it cranks first,
yeah,
before we do anything else.
Let's disconnect the fuel line. It actually looks like a newer filter. It's not disgusting. Oh, here's the rubber hose going in. Just get a pair of cutters. We'll just cut it. Just in case. We don't want to crank up. I mean, There's 2 carburetor kits and 4 fuel filters in the front seat. So, you know, that's good. It's got fuel in it?
Yeah.
Nasty?
Ooh, smells bad though.
Oh man, I can smell it from here. Alright, we made the right call then. So that's a good and a bad thing. That means there's fuel in it, which is a bad thing. But it's a good thing because it's flowing. Well, look, I'm getting kind of a late start at it today. I just kind of want to see what I'm working with here. Let's throw a battery in it, see what happens. That'll work. Well, it's not on fire.
Yep.
It's a good sign. It's got keys. Oh, gross. Somebody was an idiot and put the key in upside down. They bent it. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Stop. Please stop. Please stop. It's not going to stop, is it? Over here?
There we go.
There. All right. No crank. This should have a solenoid right here, I think. Chrysler is different, of course. That's what they love to do. I guess I should look around a little first. Yeah, it's got to be this. Well, it ain't locked up, that's for sure. So we're either not getting power from the key to here or the solenoid's bad. We need to change that ignition box and the voltage regulator. Both of those things will keep us from running. Fortunately, I knew I was working on a Chrysler, so guess what I stocked up on? Bet you $1 this thing's fairly low miles, because that looks like an original ignition control unit, and they are notoriously awful. I mean, I can't tell you how many of them I've replaced on the few Mopars I've owned. They're just not good. This and that's what'll stop you. Always carry spares. I got the goo on me. Ew.
Wow.
What is that? That's some sort. It's a snake. That's a copperhead.
Wow.
What? He's been perfectly preserved in the goo. Watch for snakes. Well, now I'm worried about snakes. You know, if I wouldn't have seen it, I wouldn't be worried at all. But here we are. You know what I just realized? I never looked in the trunk. There could be a bunch of parts back there.
Or snakes.
Or snakes. You know what? Let's just not look in the trunk. While we're here, why don't we go ahead and just change this too? We know it's going to be a problem. I guess what the better question to ask would be, why did everything melt? It's a Chrysler. That's why it melted. What the hell is that? It's a bunch of roly-polies.
Dude.
What is wrong with this car? Well, that's done for now. How lazy do we want to be here, JD? Pretty lazy?
Yeah, pretty lazy.
All right, let's get some brake clean and just see if it burbles or anything. I've got the key on. I don't have my meter with me, so I can't check for power on anything. But we could just cheat and kind of see if anything happens. Our connections aren't very good. Okay, I'm gonna say no spark. We might actually have to look at things, unfortunately. Let's see if it's sending power into the ballast resistor. Oh, I forgot to tighten that ground strap. Maybe that's why. We are getting power to it. It's not very good, but that means the key's working at least. And the ballast resistor is good because it's got power going through it anyway. 6 volts of it is making it to the coil. I don't know what these run on, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 6. Let's see if it's sparking out of this. What's it look like?
It's sparking. Can't really see it on camera, but it's very weak.
Weak spark?
Yeah.
That would make sense with only 6 volts. Let's change the ballast resistor. This is the next easiest thing to change. And if it's not this, then it could be the coil, but probably not because our input voltage is so low. What we'll probably do is just jump 12 volts to it, see if that makes it run. If it does, then we know that we have a wiring problem. Or it could just be this ballast resistor and it's very, very hot. Very freaking hot. Yeah, so this, see that ceramic, this porcelain in here? Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be down here too. Like that.
Oh, wow.
See how it's not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it also melted out. I mean, we kind of just loaded the parts cannon, but sometimes that works, you know?
Same thing.
Same thing. Let me check how much voltage is getting through.
Okay.
So I think I've only got 11.3 volts going into it anyway, which is pretty bad. That would indicate a lot of voltage loss somewhere in the wiring. And it's super intermittent. It's like when I put my meter on it, it goes away. It's like a ghost. It's very hot. It's a resistor. It's supposed to be hot, but still. So the voltage is just like coming and going out of that thing. It's like it's got 12 and then it's gone. I don't know how it works. I'm not professing to have any knowledge, but it's kind of like a breaker is shutting on and off almost. Or maybe a fusible link. Like, I mean, Chrysler loves fusible links. They are everywhere. Normally, the way you test these is you just kind of grab each end of the wire and tug. If it pulls apart, then the fusible link has failed. God, why is all the wiring so hot in this car? It's not even doing anything. Something's drawing a load. This is a breaker. That just clicked off. I don't know what that is. What? I took this panel off here. I think it's an electronic ignition switch. It's in here, and it just sends wires down the column. Let's see. Oh, also check this out. This has got to be homegrown, right?
Whoa.
The fuse panel is on a hinge with like a lock. You can lock it up, and you turn it, and then you can swing it down so you can see your fuses. That's not Chrysler, is it? I mean, surely they didn't anticipate that many electrical problems, did they? I jumped the coil to the battery to see what would happen. Let's go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. And we got spark now.
Yeah.
All right. Crank it. Nice.
Nice.
Do it again. Sounds fine.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's just not getting the appropriate amount of voltage to it through the key. Let me try to jump it to the input side of the resistor.
Okay.
Then we'll still use the resistor. Look, guys, it's a 74 Dodge Monaco. It's probably getting wired to a toggle switch, but that's okay. If I'm reading the schematic right, when the key's in the on position, it powers both the ignition and the voltage regulator. So we have to make sure they're both hooked up to that side of the ballast resistor. I should just be able to leave this here and then just shove another wire into there. I mean, we're gonna have to upgrade to bigger wire and make it better, but let's try it. Let's see if this works.
For now.
Got my alligator clip snaked in here. Go ahead and hook the battery up. Let's see if it bursts into flames. So right now, it should be powered pretty well the same way the car should be powering it. Let's crank again. You just crack that throttle again like you were doing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. All right. I think something's wrong with the key switch in the car.
Yes.
And I think that's causing all these problems. And I think someone else was fighting it, and that's why everything was melted. Literally every single thing was melted. I don't think it was the car that did it. I think it was someone screwing with it.
Yeah.
I'm not putting an ignition switch in this. So we'll go get a toggle switch, make that work. Then we're going to make sure the alternator's charging. And we're going to need a push button as well, obviously.
Yes.
But if we do those two things and then hook up a fuel source, I bet this baby runs.
Yeah, I think so.
Check out the action on this, huh? This is a piece of a wiring harness out of something. What we're going to do is land it right here, and then we're going to run to a push button, and then run that back to here so the solenoid works, and then we're going to run another one of these to a toggle switch, which we run over to the ballast resistor, and then the car runs. And if Zane really wants to put an ignition switch in this, and I know he doesn't, then he can, but I really don't. So this is what we're gonna do. Check this out, huh? I got 2 power wires coming in. We'll run them right through this panel I removed, and then we can drill 2 holes in the panel to mount our switches. Wow. It'll be just like factory. Just like factory. Actually, it'll be better than factory. Snake! I don't really understand it, but we got the push button hooked up, and now I'm seeing perfectly fine voltage on the ballast resistor. Go ahead, hit it. So it works fine with just the key.
Yep.
So that was for nothing. That toggle switch may come in handy. We'll just wrap it up and leave it in there. May still want that at some point.
Yeah, just in case.
I think something got jiggled or something, and now it works. It doesn't crank, does it?
No, I tried.
Yeah, so that part still doesn't work, but...
I'm going to tuck that right there.
No, we need to wrap it in tape. That wire is live. The next thing we're going to need is a fuel system, and we don't want to keep running it off a brake clean. You said there's gas in it.
Yeah.
Wonder what it smells like. Doesn't smell that bad. It really doesn't smell that bad.
You just want to hook it back up?
No,
no,
I want to at least see it.
Yeah.
But maybe we like put a clicky clack on it and kind of suck some out of it and see what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna call it a day for today. We're getting a little late in the day, but I want to see what's in the trunk first. I think I'm just gonna leave that open.
I have a disease now.
Hey, look at that CB antenna though. That's cool.
That'd be good for the police car look too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, that's... Oh. What?
I don't know what's in that box.
I don't want to know. Alright, well... Dude, that's bad. I think I'm going to leave this thing open.
Yeah.
Let it kind of air out. Maybe the coyotes will get in the trunk and eat whatever the hell is in there dead. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Let's get a fuel system going here. And... you know, since this thing's got to make a long drive, I'm going to go ahead and put a new mechanical fuel pump on it. Only the best for the Monaco. Which means, on these cars, you got to pull the alternator off to get to the fuel pump, because they decided to cram literally everything onto the passenger side of the engine. It's very convenient. Love it. Be a good time to replace the alternator belts as well, if they look like they need it. Honestly, they don't look that bad. We're going to need a gratuitous amount of penetrating lube for everything here. Quite crusty under here. This alternator bolt is going to snap, absolutely. It wasn't in all the way. It's like someone cross-threaded it. Yep, there it goes. Damn it. Let me see if I can get one for it. It doesn't look that good anyway. It might be worth replacing it. I should have left it alone, but getting to that fuel pump with the alternator in place is nearly impossible. And the bolts love to corrode and stick into the case of the alternator. It's a feature, not a defect. If you just take a open end of a wrench, put it behind the head of the bolt, you can give it a little bit of leverage to push as you spin. There she goes. And now it's stuck. There we go. Ah, you bastard. Come on. There we go. Spacer and alternator should be out of our way. As you can see, now we can access the fuel pump. I do love not being able to get to the bolts on this, though. I mean, it's genius, really. Here's one. Taking them out is not the hard part. Putting them back in is very much the hard part. go. And here's the fuel pump. Maybe nothing wrong with this fuel pump. It's very possible. It's definitely been replaced. But at least we'll know for sure. There's probably absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'd feel better with a new one. Well, actually, I don't know about that. The new ones are pretty junk. But still, it's the thought that counts, right? So before we fully commit, though, I am going to try to suck some fuel out of the tank through the line, and I want to see what it looks like. It didn't smell that bad, so we might get lucky. You never know. But if we suck it through here, we can see if it's chunky or super varnished or anything. We'll know if we need to run on a boat tank or if we can maybe hook up to the original fuel system. It would certainly be a much more pleasant trip for him if he could fill up the gas tank. Well, never mind, the fuel line snapped right off, like the metal part of it. So we'll have to go back a little further to grab that. That doesn't speak very well for it, though. It looks horrible. Yeah. Maybe if I go back to here, I'm going to use my tubing cutter here to cut this fuel line. Okay, let's see what comes out of the tank. It's sucking something. It's not bad. There it goes. Oh, that looks clean as could be. I mean, it's older gas, but it's not that old a gas, you know? I don't think we need a boat tank. I bet it'll work. That being the case, I'm going to go ahead and put our new fuel pump on. And then we're going to hook it up, and we're going to filter the fuel before the fuel pump, just as a precaution. I wouldn't recommend that for long-term use. It puts a restriction in front of the pump, and it will shorten the life of your already very short lifespan of a Chinese mechanical fuel pump. In this case, I think it's a warranted risk. Come on. Oh yeah, I forgot. Big block Chrysler uses a push rod like a small block Chevy, which I hate. Oh, I finally got it. These things are a pain in the ass. Cool, let me finish hooking that up, and then we're going to have to wait for an alternator to show up. Before I hook the carb up to the fuel pump, oh, well, good thing I looked, this is loose, but I want to blow through this line here. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Let that soak, I guess. Let me get another wrench. Alright. Let me shoot some carb clean through here, make sure it flows. Looks decent. And maybe a little in the carb for good measure. We'll let some of this carb cleaner just soak in here, because if I don't have to rebuild it, I ain't gonna. All these belts are pretty ragged looking, so let's change those. And with the belts off, I can feel this water pump and see if it feels like it needs replaced. Usually you're just feeling the bearing, seeing if it's gonna walk in and out on you. It feels pretty good. The fan clutch is not as good, but that's okay. We can get away with that. Can't really get away with the water pump. Getting these belts out of here is proving to be a bit of a trick. Now, when I looked up what belts to buy for this, there were like 400 different options, depending on if it had this alternator or that alternator or this power steering pump or that power steering pump. Typical Mopar stuff. They couldn't just use the same thing for everything. Oh no, I'm gonna have to see what I've got, and maybe I just have something, you know. I can still read the part numbers on these. So that's a 7580, that's the alternator belt, and then the shorter one of these is the power steering belt. It's not in as bad a condition, but we're here, so let's change it. And it is a 7495. There we go. Let me go run to the parts store, see what I can find for belts, and maybe they've got my alternator in now. Well, not surprisingly, they didn't have my alternator yet, which means I'm not putting the belts on yet, and they only had one belt that I needed, so that's convenient. Well, we don't need any of that to see if it'll run. Let's try that. I'm going to turn the key on. I am going to cheat a little, so even though we can crank it on the inside, I'm still going to jump it out here just for convenience. Well, maybe. Need to get some fuel pumped up to it, you know. There we go. All right, no fuel yet. Conveniently, it would appear that the thermostatic choke is on fire. That's a wire that heats a bimetallic spring in there, and something may have made a home in there. It's currently ablaze. There we go. Let's see if it'll run. We can just get it to suck some gas up. That would be great. Are you a vent, perchance? Seems like it. Let's see if it likes that. Well, it's got to be pumping fuel, I would think. Are you squirting? No. It's not really doing a lot of anything. We may not get away without rebuilding this carburetor. Whatever it is. What is this? Is it a, no, it's a Holly. It's a weird Holly. Let's see if it pumped any fuel. Kinda. Not great. What's our filter look like? Filter's full. Nice and relatively clean. Clean enough to run, that's for sure. Let's see if that line squirts when I crank it. Oh yeah, she certainly does. Fuel pump is functioning. I tried the old rev it up and snuff it out trick. I don't think that really did much anything. I mean, what we need here is for the dang accelerator pump to do things, which it's not. It's like, oh, right here. This nut is loose. There seems to have been redneckery about. This in here would seem to be the accelerator pump, and it kind of works, but then it kind of doesn't, and I'm not sure what the hell is going on, to be honest with you. Took the nut off the side here, and we can see that this is all wallered out, and it doesn't want to grab the squared keyway on this shaft as well as it probably should. So I don't think that's all of our problem. Threads on this shaft are destroyed. I think it was loose and this wasn't actually doing accelerator pump things, if I had to guess. So if I do it like this, do we pump anything? No, we don't. Okay, well, that's cool. I need to get a nut on that thing to make it work, like to actually actuate the accelerator pump, or maybe I could just weld it on there even. But I want to see if this thing's even worth fiddling with. Now, I've probably flooded it to all be hell now, but I'm going to try to run the accelerator pump with it and see if everything's working. And if it's worth messing with, then I will. If not, I'm going to go get me an Amazon carburetor for about 80 bucks. Okay. I mean, it runs, but it's just not getting... Fuck out of here. It's not getting enough of a pump shot to work. And it's not the pump, because the pump works. It's just not throwing this arm far enough. If I help it along, it does the trick. But it's like this thing is meant to push, but instead it's kind of like hooked around it, so it has to pull it. It's very dumb design. I don't understand it. Well, here's my solution, at least temporarily. I put another nut on it here, on top of the nut that was on it. This one I've got, it threads on a little bit better. It's not great. And then, since, like, look how much travel that's got. It's not doing it. I mean, it's kind of doing something. If we put like a stop here, you know, I mean, this is just testing, but if we just put a bolt there, now it's forced to run the whole travel. And it's still not pumping, but I think the bowl's dry. No, it fell off. God damn it, this thing's a piece of shit. Well, no, it didn't. No, it's still working. It should be working. I think. I don't know. We'll probably try to change this carb out, because I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, but there's no point even rebuilding it if this stuff doesn't work. It's obviously been messed with a lot. I mean, look, this isn't right. There's no way. Where are you going to find that? I don't even know what the hell that is. Well, it is squirting. I want to see if it'll run, like enough to drive it into the shop. That's not bad. All right, that was a lot better. So the accelerator pump's working. It's not working great, but it's working. And things may come around as it gets wet and heat and stuff like that. My whole goal here is just to be able to drive it into the shop. I know this thing's got a locked up wheel, and I know I'm not going to be able to drag and push it. So if it would do it under its own power, that would help me a lot. Let's check on our fuel from the fuel tank. Man, it don't look that bad. That's pretty clean. You know, this thing may have been off the road for 25 years, but somebody's been messing with it since. I'm going to turn the curb idle up a bit and try to just get the thing to idle some. The curb idle was backed all the way off. That might be why it wouldn't idle. There. I mean, it runs okay. Except for that. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not smoking. It's missing a little. But if we can make this carburetor work, that would be really cool, because of Chrysler torque flight TV rod things. Yeah, I don't have any desire to cobble something together on another carburetor if I don't have to. Yep, my new alternator here. Certified Chinese garbage. What, we got 3 terminals on this one? Yeah. Yep, pretty straightforward. Okay. Boom. All this for a broken bolt. I mean, I could get that bolt out of there. It looks like somebody cross-threaded it in and then couldn't tighten it, and that's what led to me snapping it off. They saved it for the next guy. That doesn't sound like anyone I know, though. There we go. There we go. Now, the cool thing is that bolt that was broken off isn't included with the new alternator, so I gotta go find one of those. But I mean, look at the style points we gained. A new belt on here. Got one new belt for the alternator, because that's all they had, you know. I mean, why would anyone expect an auto parts store to carry auto parts? That would be dumb. Boy, that particular number of belt is the bare minimum of belt, ain't it? It's got another 3 inches of adjustment. I probably could have just got 2 that were a little longer. Well, we've got a shiny, new, objectively worse alternator now. I'm going to plug some vacuum lines that I see. I'm going to make sure all the plug wires are on it too. Well, let's top off the antifreeze, then fire it up and let it run for a bit. It's already got a flush port on it right there. So what I might do, it looks pretty gnarly in there. So if we dump some flush in there and we let it kind of do its thing while we do our thing, theoretically, it'll clean everything, and then we can give it a real thorough flush and change the coolant. That will help. It looks like mud in there. We don't want to go through that again. Yeah, I've actually had really good luck with this stuff, and it was on sale. Let's let this do its thing. Yeah, I hear it gurgling away in there. That means good things. Let's see if anything comes out immediately. Oop, missed. It wasn't too awful low. That's a good sign. We'll let that just kind of work its magic. Yeah, let's rinse this off. There we go. It's probably 3% less diseased now. Well, with belts and water in it, let's see if it'll just kind of sit and idle. Maybe we can check the transmission, see how that goes. Transmission works. Well, kinda. It goes reverse and forward. I got it in neutral. Let's check the fluid. It doesn't look pretty. Maybe a quart low. Not too bad. We fiddle with the mixture screws on this. It's not bad. I think it had something plug in it. I tightened it in and backed it out. It's running better. Pretty good. It ain't perfect, but it ain't bad. See if I can idle it down now. Got a vacuum leak somewhere real bad. I think it's just the base plate. Whew, radiator's hot. What do we got for gauges? All right, she's charging. All right. Hey, radio works. That's cool. She's not doing too awful bad. You know, this thing only shows 74,000 miles. Judging by the interior, I kind of tend to think that might be true. That carburetor's starting to come around. Come on. Reverse. Hey, it goes backwards. It's starting to free up, whatever it is. There we go. There we go. We got it to free up. It's not thrilled about it, but it's doing it. Got a horn? No horn. That's running on the tank. We don't know how good that is, but it is doing it. Shoot, I think I just need to get something to air these tires up with, and we could probably drive it into the shop now. I'm going to try the old steam cleaning trick. Take some water, you dump it down the carb, and it breaks up the carbon on the valves and piston. Well, it hated that. I'm going to top off transmission fluid and get that one tire aired up there, and I say we just try to drive the sucker. Only the finest transmission fluid. Harvest King. Yeah, that's probably enough. I think this one's the only flat. Can't get to the valve stem on it. That pop in the wheel cover. I mean, these are ancient tires. Are they yeah, they are bias plies. See if that takes air. She aired up, no problem. Well, let's see if it'll make it to the shop. Not gonna fully commit to the hood close. The key works now. What the hell? Definitely got a stuck brake. Come on, baby. Wait. The parking brake was on. Are you serious? It's got some kind of brakes. Yeah. Oh, it's good. The freaking parking brake was set. Cool. Yeah, the freaking parking brake was on. I didn't even think to look at that. Like, whoever sets that on an old car. We're pretty lucky it came off. We're getting started today with tune-up stuff, basically. We got to get this thing to run better. The brakes were kind of working. I'm okay with just kind of putting that to the side for right now. We need to get this thing to run well. And I put a couple gallons of fresh gas in it. That should help. And I've got a new product I kind of want to show you guys. It's MOTOR PURR. It's not a new product. It's been around since the 60s, but you don't see it very often, right? And this guy, Ben, he owns MOTOR PURR. I've seen his reels and stuff on Instagram, and he's on TikTok and stuff. And man, he swears by this. And I said, you know what? Will you send me a case? Let me try it out. I mean, I'm always putting additives and stuff in things. I may as well try his stuff. And let's see if it works. This is their fuel injector cleaner. Now, you note, that's a glass bottle. Now, Ben told me they can't ship this in plastic containers because eventually it will eat a plastic bottle. Ben basically said that your other stuff you pour in the tank these days is so watered down it hardly does anything, which, hey, I probably agree with that. This older formula here still has the potent solvents and stuff that a lot of those additives used to have back in the day. I put a bottle of it in my Suburban because it kind of idles rough, and it did seem to help. It made it idle a little smoother. Is it a miracle fix or not? Let's learn together. I'm not getting paid nothing for this. I just figured it'd be worth a shot. So I'm going to pour a bottle of this in the tank, and then we'll probably use this tune-up stuff in the engine. You can use this as a flush. You could use it as all kinds of stuff, but it kind of, you suck it up through a vacuum line, like you're doing a combustion chamber clean. That's how we're going to use it. And just in case, he gave me this bottle of Seal Up, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's not liquid glass like a lot of them, so it's not supposed to plug things up. Worth a shot. It says on the bottle of the other stuff that it contains toluene, something like that. That's a paint solvent is how I know it. I could see how that would eat carbon and clean things out. I'm not sure what exactly is in this. It smells strong. Dump that in there. I bet you don't want to get it on your paint. I can tell you that. If you're interested in trying this stuff, I'll put a link in the description. He's pretty reasonable on his prices. And if you ever have any questions, when you call and ask, his phone number's on the bottle. The guy you're talking to is Ben. He's the guy who owns the company. So I kind of like that, To actually get in here and start doing some tune-up stuff, I probably ought to pull the plugs, and I think I will. But before I do that, I'm going to take a shop vac to the engine and get all the poop off of it. I'm going to start yanking plugs, and I'm not going to go too crazy here. I mean, if a couple of them look good, I'm going to say it's good. It doesn't sound like it's missing. It just, something ain't right. And I think it's probably a vacuum leak and a carburetor issue. We're going to have to figure out how to make that accelerator pump happier or change the carburetor, one or the other. But the base plate of the carb's definitely leaking. The plugs, like this plug here, is pretty burnt. Only on the ground strap though. And also that gap looks pretty big to me. Pretty sure it should be like 40 thousandths on this. And also, the ground strap isn't aligned with the electrode, which is interesting. It's worth pulling them out and cleaning them and re-gapping them for sure, but the electrode itself isn't worn, so these could be reused. Looks like plug gap's supposed to be 35 thou. The other thing I noticed is that this is an RJ12, which is a colder plug than what I think it calls for. I think it calls for a RJ14 champion plug. It should be fine. As long as the motor's fairly tight, it'll be alright. Now I'm just going to quickly wire wheel these things. Then I'm going to put them back in. The plugs will tell the tale. If I find any of them that look odd, I'll let you know. Number 3 and number 5 plugs were finger tight. I haven't got to number 7 yet. That wasn't helping anything. They were still burning, but that was not assisting us. Well, I got rid of a bunch of that emissions nonsense that nobody needs and plugged all the vacuum lines. It can't leak if it's not there. So I'm going to pop the carb off and see if that base plate gasket is torn, or maybe it's just, I don't know, loose or something. And very, very conveniently, you can't get to the bolts on the carburetor hardly at all. You get on them kind of sideways, you start rounding them off real good, and then they'll come out, It wasn't tight at all. Right on the front, right where the brake clean was making it do things. Yeah, Yeah, I think we might be on to something here. If I had to guess, it's probably supposed to have carb studs, not bolts, but I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, that was... yeah, that gasket was very, very much blown. Okay, everything is kind of just sealed on. There we go. All right, there's the carburetor. There's the gasket. Oh, dude, it's trashed. While we have a carburetor off, I'm awful tempted to replace it. Now, once I got it off, I realized that the flange is not the same as a 2300 Holly, so I don't have anything that'll fit it right away, but it is the same as a Rochester 2-barrel. And I have a car out back that had a pretty good running 2-barrel on it. I wouldn't mind robbing for this thing. I've got one on as mock-up, and it seems like it works pretty much trouble-free. I had to cut the bottom of the throttle linkage off, and that's about it. It seems like it'll work. Or we could go through this thing, see if there's anything really wrong with it. Maybe it was just that blown gasket, but like this stuff freaks me out. Like that's not gonna hold up for 2,000 miles. And I don't know what to do about this. I think it needs a new shaft for that, and that would probably fix it, but you know, you can't just go buy one of those. I'm feeling the Rochester. I think that's the way to go. It's just 2 birds and 1 stone. I don't know what the hell this one's from. It's pretty gnarly looking. I doubt it's any good, but glad I had it around just so I can make sure it actually fits. Those Rochesters are damn good carburetors. So this is the Rusty Goat, the car that's rotted in half, 69 GTO, factory 400 2-barrel. And that 2-barrel ran great. Now I'm going to put this drivetrain in something else, but I have no intention of keeping that 2-barrel on it for sure. It's been, what, a year since this thing ran? And it ran pretty good. And I never touched this thing. Never rebuilt it, never did nothing. So, should be perfect. There we go. One brand new Rochester, for sure. You know, this carburetor is actually very rare. You'll note it has a 3/8 inlet on it for the fuel line. That's because it's a GTO. That 400 in that car was like, you got a credit back for it. They gave you money back for getting a 2-barrel on your GTO. It's factory. It's a very rare carburetor, but rare does not mean valuable. It's really no loss. If it runs as good as it did on that Goat, should make this Monaco just cruise on down to Arizona, no problem. You'll note it still has a stick in it plugging a vacuum line. I put that in there in Minnesota, and it's still there. It's still doing the job. I'll probably just put it back on. I'm going to give it a little rinse off. This citrus degreaser works really well. You let that soak, scrub it a little bit, and blast it with some brake clean, and it'll look presentable. One GTO carburetor installed. I had to drill a hole in the throttle arm here, kind of move this back to get the cable to reach. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I'm going to start it up in a minute, but I want to change these battery cable ends. At least the ends. These just don't look too whippy. This one's not bad, but this one was really pretty rough. So I made a new ground cable out of some welding cable. This is what I'm starting to use now. It's actually copper. Pretty cheap on Amazon in the grand scheme of things once you make 4 or 5 battery cables. I didn't make a positive one, although it could use it, but that goes all the way to the starter, and I really don't feel like doing that, so. That runs pretty good. Oh, come on now. Don't be leaking fuel on me. Hopefully that'll seal itself up. That would be very convenient. So the one thing about this is I used another old base plate gasket. It's probably not helping anything. Let's see if it's leaking. No vacuum leaks. Let's give it a minute. Looks like it quit leaking fuel. Certainly runs better than it did. Ah, come on now. It ran perfect over a year ago on a car that I never touched it on. It's fine. It's not popping and spitting and stuff, which is good. You get in here and try to fiddle with these air bleeds. Oh, they're stuck. Fortunately, these bleeds are hex-headed. If I get a 1/4 inch socket on them, run them in. Yep, that thing was way out. I'm going to run it in all the way till it bottoms out, and then back it out. It's one turn. It's about 1.5. That's usually a good starting point. Annoyingly, the accelerator pump seems to have died. Put a little brake clean in the bowl. Extra solvent, and sometimes that makes things swell up and work. Now that made it overflow. Maybe it'll come around. I'm not giving up. I could rebuild this carburetor fairly easily as well, so. Keeps backfiring like that because it doesn't have an accelerator pump. So it's going lean when the throttle blade's open. It's coming around. I saw the squirters trying to squirt at least, and that's a good sign. But before we run it too much more, I'm going to put some of this tune-up in the oil here before we change the oil, and from MOTOR PURR, and we'll see if this stuff really does anything. If it cleans, and it's supposed to knock all the sludge and varnish and whatnot out of it. Gosh dang! Whew, pouring that into a hot engine. Oh my God! I tell you what, when something smells like that, it's probably effective. Holy crap! Close that off. Oh my God! Don't do that. Put it in a cold engine. And then I'm going to put another bottle of this tune-up stuff through a vacuum line. The same way you do it with other products, right? Except for I'm going to modify it a bit. I'm going to put a little bit down the vent of the carburetor. Just a little. This stuff is super concentrated. I'm going to let that kind of work on the inside of that carburetor. And obviously a vacuum line is not going to get us anywhere near a carburetor. But check out this little IV kit it comes with. And this is kind of genius. So you got this, you screw that onto the bottle, and then it comes with this little ball valve, kinda. It just pinches this hose off, and then on the other end is a barb fitting. So pick you a intake vacuum port, meaning one that is centrally distributed at all times, and you plug it into that, and what it wants you to do via the instructions is just pretty much drip feed this stuff into the system. You're supposed to set that valve up to where it just barely feeds it in, and the engine will sit at idle with it in there. That's going to get into the combustion chamber, clean the valves off, clean the pistons off, clean spark plugs, clean everything. You've seen it 100 times. I'm pouring something down the throat of the carburetor. I just did it with this. I was pouring water in it, but this is supposed to be very effective. This is a good guinea pig, I figure, mostly because I'm not the one that has to drive it. I'm going to make sure that valve is shut off, because otherwise damn sure it won't ever start. So let's start her up. Well, let's see if I got salesman or if it really does something. Barely got to feed it in. Barely dribbling it in there. It's supposed to take a while, I guess. That's what the instructions say. I can see the benefit of just slowly feeding it in as opposed to dumping it right down the carb. I'm impatient though, so let's go a little faster than that. There we go. like it's doing something. I'm kind of a doctor, as you can tell. For what it's worth, I'm pretty sure that stuff is extremely flammable, so use caution, for sure. I kind of see like a vague haze of carbon. You can smell something other than normal combustion occurring back here. Interesting. I gotta get these damn doors open. Yeah, I do want to make sure we're not cooking this thing. Where are we at? Oh no, she's doing fine. Totally fine. Remember, we got flush in there too, so the more we run this thing, the better off it's going to be. Crankcase, cooling system, and fuel. Been running for about 20 minutes or so, just about out of the tune-up sauce. She's staying a pretty steady 190. That's not bad, really. 170 on the thermostat housing. I think the cooling system is probably in all right shape, at least for now. Get that vacuum hose back on, and I'll just have to flog it a couple of times. Per the instructions, it wants you to take it down the road and flog it, but we can't really do that yet. So I'll just flog it a bit here. It runs quite a bit better. There's something making horrific noises on the accessory drive, though. Alright. Shuts off. Starts back up. Good enough. That made some sort of difference. I'm not sure what exactly, but something changed. I had to guess. I think it's this idler pulley that's making the horrific screeching noise. I think that's more or less optional as long as we're not running air conditioning. Maybe we just wait till it fails. I'll see if I can get one, but I kind of doubt it. When I talked to Ben about using that MOTOR PURR stuff and the oil, and also the plethora of information that they give you, he's very emphatic that I change the oil, like right after you do it. Let the car run for about 20 minutes, then change the oil. He was very concerned about that, so get that shit out of there is how I took that. So let's change the oil. I think we're good to go ahead and start on getting some brakes. I'm putting off cleaning it. It's not, if the stink is sealed in the trunk for now. I don't want to open that can of worms yet. Let me fix the car before I get handifiers. Today's video is brought to you by Brunt Boots. My Brunt boots are holding up well, but I'm not holding up that great. I'm hungry, and that means I need to build a fire. So we're gonna have to gather some kindling, and I'll show you how to make a fire with your Brunt boots. A true survival expert such as myself knows exactly what to grab. No green wood. We don't want to give away our location because the government's looking for it. Isn't that a fine looking boot? You don't want to cook too close to where you're camping, otherwise government agents or bears will come and find you by smell. And we're going to want some dry brush for kindling. We're going to pack that into the middle of our twigs. I shall take 2 boots. This is going to amplify our friction. Gently and gradually we will make friction enough to make an ember. And then just like that, looky there, we have a roaring fire that we can cook a nice warm meal over. It's going to be so good for our belly. I'm looking forward to mowing down on that baby. This is the American-made Marin, very high quality. It's probably pretty chewy though. Then I have these slip-on boots on currently, as I am going convertible. If you use my code POLEBARN10, you can save $10 off a pair of Brunt boots. Check them out. They're really good quality boots. I currently have a broken toe. They're very comfy and supportive, and it feels very good on my toe. So if you have delicate toesies, get Brunt boots. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the oil out of here. And that giant puddle of oil, there's a freaking lake developing under this. All of that is from a valve cover gasket. That's where I seen the oil running all the way down the engine. That's a lot of oil for a valve cover. So I got a new set of those coming. Let's see what the flush did. See what comes out. Pretty thin feeling. I guess there's really no way to tell if it actually did anything, but Oh, I could smell it though. Oh yeah, it smells like that flush. It's in there, that's for sure. That's some very flammable oil there, I bet you. New filter. Only the finest of fleet agricultural heavy-duty oil for this baby. You get, what is this, 2 gallons of that for $22 or something like that at the farm store. That's good oil there. And then some BFL Performance Oil Booster. It's zinc, basically. So that should help keep that flat tappet cam okay in there. But this stuff's meant for like tractors, so tractors usually have flat tappet cams. I also got this comically large funnel at the farm store. Now the hard part about filling a 5-quart crankcase with 2 gallons is measuring. So you just guess. That's how you do it. A little more than half. I'm gonna fire it up and let the oil circulate for no reason other than mostly I want to see if it still runs after sitting for a little while. Smoothing out.
Yeah.
I think that carburetor will come around and work. We ought to get that flush out of the radiator probably and really verify these radiator hoses. This one's pretty soft. The lower one, you know, it feels good. It's got a spring in it. I may want to change that upper hose. That's a bitch to do on a Chrysler. You got to pull the AC compressor, usually. But I also want to get the wheels off so we can get started on brakes. I hate to think what's making a home in these wheels and brake drums. Let's put them outside. Yep. JD thinks he's getting the hose clamp off of that thing without removing the AC compressor. Maybe pull the distributor cap, would that help?
There we go. It's coming off, but yes, it would help.
Pop it.
Well, no, that would help.
No.
It's the stupid vacuum lines that are in the way.
Pull them off. Well, the petcock's stripped, so you know what that means. Time to make a mess. You know, the lower hose, it doesn't look that hard to do. Maybe I'll do that one. Oh,
Dude.
Pull that cap off if you would.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, we're gonna have to thoroughly flush this. Nice, you got it. It's coming. Don't break the neck of the radiator. That's what Mopars like to do.
Oh.
There you go. In a turn of events that'll surprise absolutely nobody, O'Reilly gave me the wrong hose. I went ahead and pulled the lower hose just to get a look at it, and there's really nothing wrong with it. It seems fine. So the new lower hose I had for the car doesn't fit. So I think we'll just put this one back on. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
This thing already had a flush port installed, so I hooked my garden hose to it. And let's go ahead and flush. I'm just going to back flush and try to push everything out of the top of the radiator. I've got the upper hose just stuck back on real quick. It'll work well enough for this. Now I'll probably fire it up in a minute. Just kind of get this preliminary flush going. You can push it out the top, and ideally I may pull the lower hose off in a second and let it kind of dump out of there. The way you really want to do it is open the petcock and then let it just circulate and run out, but we don't get to do that right now. Now keep in mind, we did drain the antifreeze, so the majority of it's out of it. Oh my God. Yep, that was a good call. It's getting better. Slowly but surely, getting better. Once this starts to run somewhat clear, I'll go ahead and fire it up and we'll circulate it some more. It cleaned up pretty good now. There's still a little bit in there. Let's fire it up and see if we can't agitate the rest out of it. Come on, you cantankerous son of a bitch. It'll fix itself, I promise. Oh, the vacuum lines are unplugged. That's why it's so pissed off. Well, it'll get over it. It can run and do this. Now, I plugged the vacuum lines, then hooked one of them straight to the vacuum advance. It seems to like that. It's coming up pretty gross still. The only thing to do is just wait until it quits. I'm not sure what's happening. It sounds like a jet aircraft about to take off. But what I'm doing is I've got the water supply shut off. I'm trying to get it to warm up enough to open the thermostat. Okay, quit making the scary noises. That's good. I don't know what that was. I was ducking in case it was a fan clutch. I think we're finally getting somewhere after about 25 minutes sitting here idling. It's starting to look decent. I don't know if we got it all or not, but I mean, it looks a hell of a lot better. It just sat here and ran for an awful long time and nothing weird happened, so it's a lot better than it was. That's what we can say. If we have to flush it again, I suppose we can do that. We're just not going to know if it's going to be a problem until we start driving it. I've driven a lot worse looking than that. I can see through it, and that's probably good enough. It's not like chunky dark brown anymore. I have never seen a valve cover gasket leak as bad as this one. So we're going to go ahead and replace it, and might as well do them both. And I can see lots of red RTV already, speaking volumes to the intelligence of the last person that has worked on it. Not sure where it was leaking, but somewhere back here for sure. Oh yeah, torn in half. There we go. Simple as, oh, and it's got a hole in it. Look. They tightened it so much, they put a damn hole in it. That's why it leaked so bad. Holy cow. All right, well, we're gonna have to fix that. Not just one, but 1, 2, 3. 3 of these are tightened so much that some idiot had an oil leak and kept tightening them until he broke the valve cover on a stamped steel valve cover. I've never seen that one. Okay, what the hell do we do about it? This thing is very clean. Look at that. I don't know how much of that has to do with the flush we did, or how much of it has to do with it just being a fairly low miles engine, but that's not bad. Let me try to straighten these out as best I can, and then I suppose we'll have to try to weld up the cracks or something. A hammer, and I've got a dolly. If I can get the corner of this dolly in there. It ain't pretty. I don't have any Chrysler stuff, otherwise I would definitely just replace this valve cover. Alright, I got it looking a little bit better. Now my fear is if I start welding on that, I'm probably just going to burn through it, but I'll try that first. Gently, very gently. If I could just get it stuck back together to where I can grind it all flat again, that would work well. Sure hope I don't damage the finish of this fine automobile. Lots of little tacks. Nope, I burned through. Never mind, it didn't work. That one worked really good. Nope, burned right through. God damn it. Alright. This ain't gonna work. If you can't weld, you can probably JB weld, and that's what I'm gonna do. I got some masking tape on the back side of the holes, and we're just gonna pack some JB weld in there. It's plenty clean, so it should work just fine. I was really hoping I could just weld it because it would have been quicker, but this will work too. We'll pack this JB weld around here, and then we'll come in and sand it down till it's flush. And then we're just going to have to goop the shit out of this in RTV and stick it on. Let's try to flatten out this JB weld some. Try to get it to where a gasket might seal to it. Looks like it's working fairly well. I think it'll work. I got it smoothed out as good as I could. It ain't perfect. It's probably going to leak a little bit. But we'll try to keep it from leaking as much as we can by using an incredibly excessive amount of RTV. I am not a big proponent of using a ton of RTV, but sometimes it's what you got to do. So I mean, I'm gonna lay this sumbitch on there, and whoever has to pull it off next, they're gonna be cussing me, but they'll also probably be replacing the valve cover, so it's not that big of a deal. Here we go. It is definitely glued on there. I was not shy with it. I'm starting on the brakes, and brake line roulette is going really good. I already broke one right off of the master cylinder. Now, this one seems okay. That's good. Well, I'd like to work my way from the bottom up, just so I don't make as much of a mess, maybe. So let's get the master off of here, see what it looks like. It's probably junk. And looks like we'll be making lots and lots of brake lines, which is just my most favoriteest thing in the whole wide world to do. Why do I do this to myself? I could be into newer cars and not have to do this every single week. We just did this, what, 2 weeks ago? And we made some last week on the Cadillac. You need to go watch that video, please. It's very important to me. Yeah, I every week I make brake lines. It's all I do with my life is make brake lines. That's it. I'm gonna get this master off, then we're gonna start looking at the front brakes, and the rear brakes are strictly optional, but we'll get there as long as everything else plays ball, which it's not, so I don't know. Yep. Yeah, it's, you know, it's bad, but salvageable, perhaps, if we have to. Doesn't look like it leaked into the booster too much, though, and that's a good thing, because I don't think you can buy one of these. Well, these brake lines down here, at least on this side, are conveniently pre-rounded. That's nice. You know, it saves you the trouble of having to round them yourself. Let me go ahead and get these heated, and then we'll have to use the locking pliers method. Side note, whenever you heat a brake line that's attached to a rubber brake line, it will explode, so prepare yourself. There's a couple, 3 ways to do this. You could cut the rubber hose and put a socket on it. That way works pretty good. But I try to unthread them naturally if I can. Now, if we're really lucky, it's going to explode while I'm right next to it. You know, that's when you want it to happen. Now, okay. Well, I mean, it came loose, but the tube nut, which isn't a tube nut on a Chrysler, it's kind of a oddball deal. It's a male threaded coupling, basically. It's stuck. So we're gonna have to cut the hose and then try to just unscrew it, and then we'll just thread a new hose onto it and hope that that brake line is good. I'm gonna assume that it is good because they were working and it wasn't leaking. I mean, they were working, quote unquote, but you get my drift. While I fiddle with the brakes, Jess is gonna start cleaning the poop.
Yeah.
You foolishly volunteered for this.
I did. I love this car. And also I want Shania to not hate the trip entirely.
Why would she? It's not like there's, you know, piss-covered bed sheets.
I'm worried about that, honestly. I should go get gloves.
And a mask, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not up here, but once you get started back there, you need one.
Yeah, I'll do that. Or else Grandma will yell at us again.
So we'll cut this hose. 5/8 on here. Yep. I have to pull the retaining clip off of the brake line. Eventually. I got the clip off, but oh my god, that's very stuck. Now we'll put our locking pliers on and hold on tight. There we go. I don't think we broke it. Look, it's not perfect, but it's fine, probably. That's what I say every time until we finish all the brakes, and then the brake line explodes, and then I go, oh, I knew I should have done that. Why didn't I just do that? Yeah, I'm following the script, okay? Just don't judge me. I can't get calipers for this at O'Reilly. And not only that, I can't even get a hardware kit for them at O'Reilly because they're useless. And I didn't want to order stuff online for this one. So we're gonna have to be very careful and save as much as we can. That's a piece of the caliper. Cool. Yep. There's a whole biome in there. On the bright side, the pads are like new. One of the pads is like new. Doesn't sound too bad. Actually feels great. But while we're here, let's go ahead and pop this rotor off and pack the bearings. Let's give this brake bleeder its best chance. How flammable is that brake clean, you think? Yeah, a little bit. Huh. Oh, that's alarming. Uh-oh. Ah, well, that wasn't my brightest moment. The good thing is at least all the bugs are dead. Now that it's good and preheated, now I'll warm up that brake bleeder. Man, it really wants to be on fire. Oh boy. Come on. Feels good. Yeah. And the good thing is everything's water now, so I can just roll it around in that to cool it. Well, how's the poop?
Oh, good. I need to vacuum it out.
Door panel looks good.
Yeah, looks great.
What was in the sheets?
Oh, so much. There was like a whole apartment situation going on in there.
Yeah, you got your inner city residents inside the car, and I've got the rural residents that are living inside of the brakes. That's great.
Yeah, I just gotta clean the residual poop up on the deck, and it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is enzyme cleaner. This stuff, like, eats mouse pee and poop. Just mix it up in a spray bottle. I think you dilute it with a little bit of water. Then you just kind of spray everything, and it just does its thing.
Cool, I can do that.
Send some brake caliper pistons into orbit. There's probably nothing wrong with it, but you never know. Well, I know it moves in and out. If I can't get this out, I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I figured it was worth a shot. Well, you know what? They're fine. I'm going to leave it alone. It's perfectly fine. There, it's rebuilt. Done. Fairly fresh. This is probably something I could also ignore, but I won't. Just because I'm such a nice guy. Made in USA. Tyson bearing. You know, it ain't bad, but it's a little out of round. It could probably stand to be replaced. Let's check that inner one just for grins. Oh yeah. Now this inner one is actually, see how burnt? This grease is kind of chalky, and it's actually seized almost. No, not quite seized, but very stiff, and it rattled. This is bad. This one is bad. The other one's runnable. Just change them. Yeah, after nearly dying from rat poisoning, this is what we use in anything that's got poop in it. And so far, so good. No more hantavirus or whatever the hell it was. Some of the residents of this brake rotor are getting evicted. Some of them are just going to have to learn how to live at a much higher speed. I was going to go ahead and replace the bearings with these cheap Chinesium bearings from O'Reilly, but, you know, they did what they're best at. They gave me the wrong parts, so those are not the right bearings for the car. Just like the hoses and multiple other things we purchased, not the right ones. The wheel seals I bought, not the right ones. How were they in business? I don't understand. Just gonna repack the old ones. It's worn, don't get me wrong, but it'll serve its purpose. So I got to wondering why none of my brake parts work, and I figured I better make sure the master cylinder is gonna work. It doesn't. I ordered everything for a 73 Monaco. And in Mopar world, of course, a 1 year difference would make everything different. We're out like 4 days on a master cylinder. I guess I'll keep plugging away and throwing the front end back together. I know we're going to need new brake pads for sure. My pads don't work either, so.
That was on the dash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just pee, probably.
Yeah.
Doing a little research, the 73 master cylinder is the same thing, same bore size. The only thing I think is different is the tube nut size, the fitting. I mean, if the bore size is the same, and frankly, it looks exactly like the replacement they sell for a 74 model. I don't know why this wouldn't work. Some difference here on this, just this fitting, but I have to replace it anyway, so I'm gonna roll with it. And we're gonna go extra cheap on this baby. I'll call it a good. It's fine. I'm using everything that's here. Here I am all worried about safety and brakes and nonsense. It will be fine. You really think, are you going to get hurt in this? Someone else will, but that's not your problem. Got this thrown back together. New hose. It's tight. There's enough meat on those pads. Should be fine. It's not seized. It rolls nice. We'll see. You know, if it ends up needing a caliper, the good thing is I can actually get a caliper for a 74 Monaco. I'm glad I didn't take that apart because the rebuild kits I had wouldn't have worked. Well, Jess has got the interior of this thing looking practically new, actually. I mean, it's beautiful. So, I mean, you did such a good job. Mm-hmm. You get promoted.
I do?
Yeah.
What?
To the trunk. Oh, no.
You didn't even clean it out for me.
No.
Oh. Oh. Oh, it smells so poorly.
It's not good.
It's not anywhere near good. I can do this.
You want a drink?
Yeah, that's what I need.
They liked their bedding, didn't they? A Marlboro hat.
Oh, somebody saved their miles up for that.
Oh, man.
Oh. Oh, just stuff down. Alright, I don't know. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. Vacuum it out and see.
Heck yeah.
I don't think it'll be too bad, really.
No, it looks super nice in here. Well, the front brakes are done enough. You could, the custom grooved and slotted rotor on this one. So I guess I'll go ahead and get the master cylinder mounted up. Let's see. So we're gonna have to replace this line. The rest of them look okay. When you gotta replace a line, a junction block, like anytime you can get on it with a socket, just go ahead and snap the line off if you can, or cut it or something, and try to get a socket on it. It's gonna work a lot better. Get that out of here. Looks like 3/16 brake line. We just need to remember that. And now I could probably pound a 3/8 socket onto it. There. Fairly painless. It smells like a trunk.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like poop. Well, all that's done. I mean, the car is practically restored now. I gotta whip up a brake line. I'm gonna whip one up real quick. Don't really know why there was a master cylinder adapter fitting that came with this master cylinder, but, well, I put it in there anyway, just to be safe. I found a nut that fits that thread there, so I'll just make one, run it to that proportioning valve, and then we'll have to bench bleed the master cylinder. Well, I make brake lines. Jess will peel the car. Do you find a growth?
Oops.
Oh.
It was all smooth until it wasn't.
That's funny. That's the seam of the roof. Oh my. Yeah, so on vinyl top cars, pretty much every auto manufacturer used body filler. So it's not like modern body filler either. It's plastic. So there's a seam here where the roof is spot welded on. And on hardtop cars, it's leaded in. Huh. On vinyl top cars, it's plastic. It's actually not rotted through though. It's just the plastic fillers popped out. The bed liner will cover it right up. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. All I do is bleed brakes. I don't do anything else with my life. Except for fixed brakes on old cars, and they are all junk and they all suck. All I gotta do is bleed the damn brakes. Bench bleed the stupid master cylinder. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Master cylinder's bled. Let's get that installed. Car is being peeled like an orange. The rear brakes, think the odds are fairly good. We better not put that brake line kit away. Looks pretty crusty. Let's go ahead and change it all back here. Someone's already unioned the rear brake line together here. As long as we can get one of these fittings to break free. We just change that rear hose and we'll just change the lines, everything back here. May as well. Just play it safe. After all, I mean, you know, their lives are in my hands. You know, I get a lot of emails of people asking me to work on their cars and stuff. If this doesn't prove to you that you don't want me to work on your car, I don't know what else could, man. You must be pretty desperate. Good news, there's brake fluid back here, which means they've probably been working last. Bad news, it's all trashed. So, yep, I get to do all these brake lines and 100% of everything. That sounds like a tomorrow problem. Jim's here, the inevitable Jim.
I'm supervising.
He is.
I have no official responsibilities here whatsoever.
Yeah, we're both pretty sweaty from getting a rear end for your project.
Don't say we got sweaty and rear end in the same sentence again.
Why?
Well, then people will know.
We're tolerant.
Yes.
So we're both in agreement that these brake shoes don't need changed.
No,
And you know why I don't want to do it?
because we're lazy.
Mostly that, but also look at this mess of an adjusting mechanism that Chrysler used. I don't want to touch it.
Do you know what it says when you look up Dodge in the dictionary?
To avoid.
It says to avoid.
Yeah. These are still half or better, so.
Run up.
Yeah,
It's just got to go to Duct Tape Drags and back. That's what, 3,000 miles, and it's mostly highway.
And it's just my friends driving it.
And you, so yeah, that's fine. Sorry, Zane.
Yeah, and his girlfriend and his brother.
Oh, well, yeah.
Three
There's
lives.
Three lives.
3 lives.
It is a 4-seater. That's only 75%. We're good. One question, Dalton.
Yeah.
Was violence involved?
A little. Not much. Look at that gasket. Those are original.
That's original.
Yeah, I had to get a little violent with it. Not
it's
too
out.
bad.
You know what key moral of that is?
Huh.
You win.
No, it ain't done yet.
Well,
It
but
could
you got
still
the car.
come back and get me anytime.
Yeah, but I'll be gone by then, so it doesn't matter.
There probably wasn't nothing wrong with these wheel cylinders.
Probably not.
Oh, no, it was leaking. All right, good. Not a waste of time. Well, I got the rear lines done. And, not bad looking, you know, that NICOP. That's classy. I might have forgotten to put the brake line through that hole, but that's okay. We'll just zip tie it. I figured out that that adapter thing that was here, that's to turn it into a 1/4-inch line fitting. We don't need that. This is all 3/16, so I just took that adapter off and it works much better now. So I got to get Jess out here to help me bleed the brakes, as JD's not here, so we'll get that done. Oh, tires. Needs tires. Shoot. You'll notice she's already been hard at work today with Pam, Jim's wife, and they stripped this whole roof off. A little bit of crust in here, but I think we'll go ahead and take care of the roof for Zane. It has started to gravity bleed itself. That is awesome. I like it when they do that. Anytime I walk away, I always leave a bleeder loose, just in case. It worked this time. I tried gravity bleeding the fronts and no dice. Well, go ahead.
Yep.
Well, there we go. All right.
Yep, pretty decent pressure in here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's working. Here, hit the brakes. No, it's not doing anything. Like, they're working, they're bleeding. There ain't no air. Caliper's not doing anything because they're stuck. But we're in luck. Remember last night and I realized that I ordered parts for the wrong year car?
Yeah.
I went ahead and ordered 2 brake calipers for this car. They're at O'Reilly right now. I just got to go up there and get them. Well, it pains me to do it, but I'm going to change these calipers real quick. I guess I'll make sure the brakes work, the front brakes, the important half. I mean, it's ridiculous I'm going this far, but Oh no, they might die. I got new brake pads too. This is what I was going to do the whole time. The rest of the trying to reuse this caliper that's clearly frozen is that was just a gag. I'm just putting on a character of being a dumbass is all. Yeah, look at there. All right, now we got shiny brake parts. We still have the wrong master cylinder. Keep that in mind. All right, pop them. Hey, they're working now. Them are good brakes. Here's the tires for this here hoopty. Zane got these all-terrains for like $100. They're brand new. All you need is 3 arms. Yeah. It looks kind of cool. Everybody's going to just incessantly refer to the Blues Brothers, even though it's not even a car movie. I don't really like it that much. You know, that's the Blues Brothers, and they're out on a mission from God or something or whatever. I mean, it would be super cliche to be like, let's make it a Bluesmobile. Come on. How about we make it the half-brother? Huh? It's half-brother. Don't read into that. I'm gonna pull it out. I think we need to pressure wash this thing. I might have to change that carburetor. Let's see. Lost my hubcap. It's getting better. So I got one of those cheapo Amazon carburetors. I could throw that on. We'll see. Well, I knew I lost 2 hubcaps, but it turns out I lost all 4 of them in true 1970s car movie style. I'm going to give that carburetor every chance it has, because it's actually running okay right now. Sometimes you just got to beat the shit out of them. I'm going to give it a little bit of a drive period before I mess with it. Why? Because I'm lazy. And if you're not lazy, well, you go rebuild the carbs on your cars, but I'm lazy. You found them. Well, it cleaned up okay. It's fairly dark. You're really not going to be able to see. But it's still got a lot of tree sap residue, and the paint is coming off in a lot of places. And honestly, I hate stuff like this. Like, you've heard of the comet washing and all that BS. Like, just paint your damn car. However, in this case, I feel it's acceptable for now. We're not going to comet wash because I don't have any. Dish soap mixed in water and a red Scotch-Brite. It does basically the same thing. The only thing the Comet's doing is it's an abrasive, and the SOS pad you apply it with is also an abrasive. All you're doing is just feathering out the peeling paint, and also you're pulling out like discoloration and stuff like that. Like, I'm cool with doing this. It doesn't hurt anything long term. It really doesn't matter. What I'm not cool with is covering your car in oil. That's ignorant. I would not ever do that. We can make the car look a little bit better for now. And maybe Zane wants to keep the thing, and I wouldn't mind painting it for him. Frankly, I kind of like the thing. And you just work it until you feel it gets smooth, you know. I have bare metal here. That's not good, since we aren't going to be clear coating the car or anything. But I might take some rattle can clear satin and just hit the bare metal spots. Or we'll let it flash rust and be like real patina. Or we'll just paint the goddamn car because we're not lazy. I mean... Yeah, it's a lot more uniform.
I like this car a lot.
I do too. Look at that. Thing's freaking pistachio green again. Looks great. Not great, but it looks better. Much better. At least it's all the same color now. That just a little bit more presentable is all.
I like this car.
We will, once it dries off tomorrow, we'll get a brand new vinyl top installed and just fix all this rust, and yeah, it'll be fine. Brand new.
Brand new.
First order of business today, I'm going to try to throw this Amazon carb on. I hate to admit it, and I've actually had really good luck with these. If it's as simple as removing 4 bolts and putting a new one on, I think it's worth doing. And then we're going to put a bed liner vinyl top on it, and then we'll have to go take the car for a test drive. So I got the Chinese Rochester installed, and it runs exactly the same. So it's probably not a carb problem. Of course it's going to run fine now. I was just testing it off camera. Here I have to have it idled this high just for it to run. They say 90% of carburetor problems are ignition related, and I tend to agree with that. I never threw a timing light at it. I don't know why. Let's see what it looks like. About 10 degrees, it's about right. Give it a little more. About 14 right there. That's about all I give it. I think the centrifugal advance is a little sticky in there. It may free up over time, as it was like 14 and then it would stick at like 19 and then it would kind of come back. So 14 degrees, that would make it about maybe 34 degrees total. I mean, that should be right in the sweet spot for it. It may want a little bit more. Let's make sure it starts up. Pretty good. It's idled too high, but, well, I'll just feel it out. I guess you run into this conundrum of like, I know I could drive this car every day, but could someone else? On to vinyl top repair. Yes. You see here, I have my welding tape, and we're just gonna weld up these holes in the roof. See, it's a magical process. One that you probably haven't seen in a first world country. And what you do is you just, you know, take that end. I don't know, the lighter works pretty good to rub it out. Rub it right over the holes, you know. And voila, I have welded the roof. The roof is repaired. Amazing. Incredible even. Behold. Oh my. It's fixed. But wait, there's more. There's another hole. And if you're gonna do a bed liner vinyl top, masking is really important because that stuff will settle on everything. You just mask all the edges. Then use some newspaper, masking paper, butcher paper, human skin, whatever, to cover up the large areas. Cody's here with JCS Projects. Here, grab a cam. Ooh, let's install a vinyl top.
Do I get to mess things up too?
Oh, it's impossible to mess things up when you don't care. Oh, yeah. Now, there is a secret to this. You want to, like, kind of cross-hatch, you know, or like circles, otherwise it will leave stripes.
Oh, good to know.
So, like little circles like this, it'll leave a little better texture for you. Things I've learned in my used car salesman ways. Yes.
So is this one of those things where if you have 2 different people doing it, you're going to have 2 different results?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. The glue and fuzzies you left on here is really helping the texture.
It adds to it, yes. This stuff in the blue can, this has the best texture. It looks the most like a vinyl top. God damn. You can get high as a kite in here. But we gotta let that flash and maybe recoat. I'm gonna try something. I wanna see if I can paint the bed liner white. I don't know if we can or not. Yeah, I know they sell white bed liner. It's really expensive. So that's not going to happen. I'd much rather spend 35 bucks instead of 200. If you spend $200, you might as well buy a vinyl top. This is just a trial run. I've got 2 more cans. I'd like to give it another coat of bed liner. But before I do that, I want to see if I'm going to screw it up with spray paint. And if I do, then we can cover this back up. But for now, this is just a test. Oh, that's going to work. Oh, that's going to work good. It's kind of fish-eyeing a little, but it kind of just adds to the effect. Oh, I think it's going to have a white vinyl top.
I think it will too.
Hell yeah! We've learned that if you come back and like do the kind of a quick cast on it, you get a really nice texture.
Oh!
There you go.
Ah, that's aggressive.
When you got extra, you just hit your frame and your wheel wells with it for extra style, you know?
Okay.
Clogged?
Yeah, it's just... I don't know how to use this thing. Yeah. That's texture.
Very, very textured. It's extra vinyl.
How many cans of this do you have?
2.
Okay.
We're gonna need more.
What are you doing to me, man?
What? It's a paint can, Cody. I don't know what to tell you. So we're experimenting. The spray paint, it works, but it's gonna take a lot of it. Brush paint, tractor paint, that works really good. It fills in the pits. The only real question I have with it is, will it dry? Well, Cody had to take off. He's working on the Cadillac, buttoning up a few things for me before poverty tour. So we're back to brush painting now. It looks great. Look at that. 10 feet away, you'd never know. Not quite dry, but let's see what it drives like on the road. That carburetor is still kind of a piece of crap. Zane may have to figure something else out there, but it would do. You could drive it. Just ain't perfect, you know. Speedo doesn't work. Oh hell, it ain't bad. This thing ain't bad at all. It's like riding a couch, man. It rides smooth, shocks feel good. Buzzing down the road, I don't know how fast we're going, probably 60. Totally fine. Steers nice, handles good, brakes are great. This is a good car. Coming down to a stop, not dying. Yeah! It's a turd. I'd drive this. Without any hesitation, I would drive this car. This thing's good. And explodes. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm real jealous. I kind of want this now. She's running just fine. These things ain't powerhouses. Definitely needs the tires balanced. Kind of just going out for a little country drive here. It's a good way to get a feel for a car. It's charging. I'm pretty sure the idiot lights work. It would let me know if it was getting hot. This old car is pretty dang good. Now for the bump test. It's probably the worst road I know of. Ah, yes, like nothing. Hard not to like it, really. Unless if Zane ever wants to let go of this, I want it. Just like the Dodge version of my LTD. It's great. And that carburetor, has it miraculously self-adjusted or something? It's running really good now. I'll take it. I think he'll be fine. God, the holes in the road are like 6 feet deep. You could bury a body in them. It does everything it's supposed to do, nothing more. The corner carving prowess of the Monaco. One hand on the wheel. No problem. These things were meant to hunt down speeders and bank robbers. They do it well. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, come on. Zane gave $800 for the car. I put in, what, $300-400 worth of parts, a little bit of elbow grease. So what? Let's call it $1,300, and you could have a car like this. They're out there. This thing was sitting in a field down the road from his house. It's not like they're hiding. They're everywhere. It's not a desirable car. It's relatively worthless. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun with it. As long as you don't overinvest in it, like you keep it under $2,000, you can't go wrong with this car. I bet you could drive this son of a bitch every day, and it probably lasts for years. What kind of newer car can you buy and do that with for $1,300? None. Well, anyway, let me call Zane, have him come pick it up, and we'll see you whenever he gets here. Well, Zane, here's your pimped out Monaco.
I'm so glad I trusted you with my life.
It was pretty foolish. You'll be fine, probably. Don't come back. Anyway.
You're telling me there's no refunds?
There's no refunds. There's no warranty. Not even a driveway warranty. If you make it out of here, I'll be just astonished. No, actually, it did really good. I think it's fine. But if it dies on Poverty Tour, someone surely will help you, who isn't me. I threw an extra air freshener in there for you. You're going to need it.
Get rid of the mouse smell.
Mm-hmm. I didn't fix that. No.
I thought I was getting a decent car, though.
Well, the other three work fine.
Are you sure?
No. Hopefully this Amazon carburetor doesn't fail me. Oh, yeah.
Looks like brand new.
She's kind of a 2-footer. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Amazon for the win. You're saying it's going to make it?
No. Yeah.
I'll be back. I got a whole fried chicken to go get.
Oh, I thought it died. She ain't bad. A little cold-blooded, but not bad.
So how about that return policy?
Who are you?
Yeah, I never seen you before in my life. That roof looks good in the dark, especially if you close your eyes.
Whoa. It is, looks good from afar, but far from good looking.
Yes. With that, that's the end of this one, the Monaco. You'll see Zane and crew driving that on Poverty Tour to Duct Tape Drags 2025. Check it out on the Facebook group, or don't, or whatever. I don't really care. We'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. I'm going to go work on something I actually want to work. I mean, not this fine machine like this. I'm going to go work on something that I really am dreading compared to this beautiful car. But no, really, it's pretty damn good. So, we'll see you guys next time.
What can you say? The Monaco attracts pussy. What a luxurious car.
See you, man.